Welcome back. Now let us proceed with the main part of our lesson. We'll start by looking into the principles of insurance. Now, let's start with the first principle. The first principle we have is the principle of indemnity. What does it say to us? The principle of indemnity usually applies to short-term insurance, as the insured is compensated for a specified or proven harm or loss. So they have to be compensated, they have to be repaid for that harm or damage that might have occurred. So the insurer with this principle agrees to compensate the insured for damage or loss specified in the insurance contract in return for premiums paid by the insured to the insurer. So that is what this principle basically says to the insured and the insurer, to say the insurer will pay the insured because the insured has been paying a premium for any specified event or damage that may occur. So the principle further says now it protects the insured against the specified event that may occur. For instance, this might be a car accident, and for one to be covered, they need to pay a premium on a monthly basis. Now, we have another principle, which is the principle of security. This is applicable to long-term insurance, where the insurer undertakes to pay out an agreed upon amount in an event of loss of life. So should the insured lose their life, they will be paid an agreed upon amount, and then a predetermined amount will be paid out when the insured reaches a predetermined age. This would be applicable to retirement. And as we proceed, the aim is to provide financial security to the insured at retirement or the dependents of the deceased. So these are two situations, which is retirement one and loss of life here. So hence we talk about the principle of security. It provides security financially for future expenses. Hence now we're talking about retirement or loss of life of any partner that may occur to. Now, the principles of utmost good faith, what does that principle say now? The principle says the insured has to be honest in supplying details when entering an insurance contract. So this is to say, in a process of entering an insurance contract, the insured has to provide all relevant details that will affect the risk and that will determine the premium, which is the cost of insuring whatever asset that the insured wants to cover. So they need to be honest to say, this is what I'm going to be insured for. If it's a car, you need to specify where you stay, because where you stay determines the risk of insurance and the cost, for instance, associated with your risk. And then both the insurer and the insured must disclose all relevant facts about where the car will be parked, who will be driving the car regularly, because that will determine the risk associated with the asset. And then the insured must disclose everything that may affect the extent of risk, to say sometimes I make my child to drive, whereas my child doesn't have any proven or the required license to drive. So information supplied when claiming should be accurate and true as well. That is what the principle says. It talks about being honest in the process of applying for an insurance, and in the process of claiming, you should also be honest. Then another principle of insurance is the principle of insurable interest. So with this one, this is to say the insured must prove that they will suffer financial loss if the insured object is damaged, lost, or ceases to exist. So this is to say, why are you interested in insurance? So you are interested in insurance because your asset will lead to a financial loss should it be stolen. So that is why you are interested, to say, I bought the car using a loan. So should the car be stolen, I will still have to pay my loan. So that is why I'm interested in taking insurance. Hence we call it the principle of insurable interest. So the insured must prove that they will suffer financial loss if the insured object is damaged, lost, or seized. So if it is stolen, I'll still have to pay, which will be a financial loss because I'm paying for an asset that I cannot use anymore. So an insurance interest should be expressed in financial terms to say the loan I'm paying is a loan for 200,000. So that is the financial term, and this is what I stand to suffer. And then as I proceed, the insured must have a legal relationship with the insured object in a contract to prove again that they stand to lose. So the evidence would be contract and to say they stand to lose financially. Then, as we proceed, we have advantages now of insurance. What are the advantages of insurance there, or what are the importance of insurance? One, it transfers the risk from the insured to the insurance company, meaning the risk is no longer for the insured, meaning the business. So the transfer of the risk is subjected to terms and conditions of the insurance contract. That's another advantage. And then it protects the business against dishonest employees. Then another aspect is that it protects businesses against losses due to debt of a debtor. And then another one is that it protects the business against theft or loss of stock caused by natural disasters. So those become your advantages. And then another one is that business assets such as vehicles, equipment, and buildings need to be insured against damages and or theft. Then, as we proceed, we look now into meaning of insurable and non-insurable risk. So what do we mean there? Meaning of insurable risks. Insurable risks, these are risks that can be insured by the insurance company. And then when we look into that further, we say insurance companies decide on the likelihood of the event and then decide if they want to insure such a risk or not. And then when we look into the meaning of non-insurable, these are risks that are not insured by the insurance companies as the insurance costs are too high. And then another aspect about it is that the insurance company cannot calculate the profitability of the risk, and therefore they cannot work out a premium that the business must pay so that they can be covered. Now let us look into examples of your insurable risks. These, remember, are risks that can be covered, such as theft, fire, burglary, natural disaster, storms or rains, then damages to or loss of assets, such as vehicle, equipment, building, and so forth. Then when you look into examples of non-insurable, these can be changes in fashion, the business cannot pay for that, changes in technology, irrecoverable debts, shoplifting during business hours, and possible failures of a business. So those are risks that the business or the insurance company will not pay for. So with that being said, let us take a short break and we'll come back to address other matters relating to the principles of insurance.